We are on air.
Yay.
Okay, hello everyone. I can see you are starting to join now, so we're just going to give everybody a couple of minutes to catch up. Hope your day wasn't too bad with all this snow that we had.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Is anybody else really, really tired of shoveling snow off their car? Yes. So just while we're waiting for a few more people to join, as you know, we do have a chat section on the phone. And I would love for you to enter in the chat session. Which Olympic sports are you enjoying watching, or do you enjoy to watch? I love the Olympics. I watch pretty much everything, but I'm really psyched for curling and hockey in particular. So why don't you throw down in the chats what you're excited to see while we're just waiting for some more people to join. Joanne, what about you? What are you
Well,
a big watcher of?
I am an old figure skater, so of course I love watching figure skating. But there's so many different ski events now that are fascinating to watch, and the ski jumps that they go off of are just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fascinating to watch that. Oh, we've got downhill.
Oh,
Gail.
Downhill, okay.
Hi, Gail.
Hi, Gail.
We miss you.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Nancy?
So for me, curling, of course, I took up curling this year, so I'm very fascinated by it. Hockey, I play hockey, so I love watching hockey, but I seriously will watch anything and absolutely get totally absorbed by it. Yeah. And I love watching these stories about the athletes as well.
Okay, somebody just put snowboard big air. Yes.
Oh,
that's what I was watching the other night. I was like amazed, totally amazed by that. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to cover tonight. So, hi everyone. I'm Nancy, owner of DJC Modern Apparel.
And I'm Joanne, sales associate here at DJC Modern Apparel.
And tonight we are going to discuss dressing for your body type. Now, we have a lot of information that we're going to be sharing tonight. So don't worry that if you missed something that we said or you're trying to catch up, because as you know, we do have replays on the website as well. And they show up probably about 10 minutes after we finish the live. So go back to the replay and then you can take your time going through everything. And also just to let you know, I have these little cards that are done up as well, dressing for your body type. And then it has some information, some of the information that we're covering today. So after the session, if you are interested in getting one of these cards, then just send me an email at hello@djclothing.ca and which body shape you're interested in, and I will send you a PDF of this card. Also, if you'd like really more in depth and really personalized body analysis, we do offer that service here. It's called a body shape analysis. It's $40, and I spend time with you. We get measured. We discuss again in more depth things that are actually suitable to your body. Because even though you might fit in a general category, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything always fits perfectly with you.
And the measuring is to help determine your proportions, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, we are going to start. So the four body types that we're going to be discussing tonight are apple, pear, hourglass, and rectangle. And for each of these body types, we're going to be talking about what are the characteristics of the body type, what are our styling goals, what are really good pieces to invest in, and maybe what are some of the styles that we want to avoid. So we are going to go and get started with the apple. So the apple is characterized by having sort of broader shoulders, a good bust, no definition really around the waist, and really great legs, and alas, a flat bum. So I am an apple shape, and I fit pretty much all of these. And with the apple as well, when you put on weight, you tend to put it on through your midsection as well. So if we talk about the styling goals, what we're trying to do when we dress as an apple is that we want to minimize this area right in here. Again, this is where we're putting on our weight. So we want to dress in a way that draws the eye upward or draws the eye downward and kind of keep it away from this middle area. So what's one of the ways that you can do it, and what tops are really flattering for an apple shape? Well, in terms of a neckline that's really great is what's just called this low V. And the low V, what it does, of course, is it comes down here and, it shows off your décolletage a little bit. So again, we want to show off our assets. So that's a good way to do it. But we also don't want to add any extra bulk to our upper body. So with this blouse, you can see it's got just like a very narrow arm. So we're not adding anything extra. So we've got a nice narrow arm and we've got a really great deep V. Now, as I said, not everything will suit every body, or not everybody likes to wear things in a certain way. So for this kind of low V-neck, as I said, I'm an apple. I don't like to wear V-necks. For those of you that were on our first live and we were talking about neck length, we discussed, I've got a long neck. I also have a long head. So I find when I wear a V, it's just too much of a column here for me. So I don't like to wear V-necks. Instead, what I often do is I'll wear a crew neck or a funnel neck like I'm wearing now, and I wear a pendant. I wear a single pendant. So this is the style of necklace that I often wear. And you can see that this is creating the same effect as this. So it's drawing the eye upward. It's not really showing off the girls because I don't ever really show that off, but that's just my own personal way that I like to dress. Now, to also achieve that V, you can do that with a button up, and you just want to leave a couple of those buttons open. And again, when you pop a collar, it's just creating this really nice way to draw your eye upward. Again, we're trying to take attention away from our belly area, and we're drawing the eye up. So I don't actually need that. That was just more a reminder for me. So we also want to pay. So that's kind of the neckline and arms. But we also really want to pay attention to where a top falls with us when we're an apple. So what we're going to do. So when you're an apple, now I'm wearing a higher waisted pant. We'll discuss pants in a moment. And this is what we want to do. We don't want to have anything that's a mid-rise, or I don't even carry low rise in the store, but like a mid-rise, because if we have a mid-rise, it's hitting us right here, and that's where the eye's going to go. So you always want something that's a high waisted pants, but we need to pay attention to what we're doing with the top. So usually tucking a top in when you're an apple isn't great, because it gives you a very, very kind of rounded look here. The only reason I have my top tucked in is because I'm wearing a cardigan over it. But what I also don't want to do is if I pull the top out, so see where this top sits on me? It sits at the widest part of my body. So now I'm looking quite wide when I have this top sitting out. So of course, what I like to do, and anybody who comes into the store knows this because I tell everybody to try the half tuck or the French tuck. But this is a really, really good tuck for the apple shape. So all we're doing is we're tucking a little bit in at the front, and we're leaving the sides down. And what that does is, again, high-waisted pants. So it's creating a waist a little bit higher up on a smaller part of my body. But the way that the shirt is coming down here, honestly, not my neatest job. The way that the shirt is coming down here is it's really cutting the width of my body here. So we're not seeing all my belly all out to here. We're cutting it down here. And then it's a slimmer profile as well. But that's just the half tuck. I'm going to finish tucking it in because I'm going to put my cardigan back on. Because in terms of knitwear, cardigans are really, really awesome for the apple shape, because when we have a cardigan on, particularly, we want to keep our cardigans open. So that's called a robe cardigan. So I'm wearing the robe cardigan, And it just, what it does is it elongates my body, and it's taking attention away from my midsection, because of course it goes quite low. Now I'm quite tall. I'm 5'8". So a cardigan this length is absolutely fine on me, but you might find that this kind of length doesn't work for you. So another really great style of cardigan to wear is what's called a waterfall cardigan. Again, it's, oh, are you hitting okay. All of a sudden I thought, oh my gosh. So this is a waterfall cardigan, and this is really great regardless of your height. So what a waterfall cardigan does is it actually comes in and then it flares out. It flares out a little bit. Now this cardigan, it actually has a rib design through it, which also is quite slimming because the lines are going vertically. So this is a waterfall cardigan. Again, a really, really great option for knitwear for the apple shape. What we don't want is a cardigan like this that you're wearing and it's hitting you right here, especially if you're doing the cardigan up. So be really careful of where your cardigan lies, particularly if you're somebody that likes to do the buttons up, because we want to avoid this, this area right in here. And just in terms of other kind of knitwear that we want to avoid, probably the finer knits are a little bit better for an apple, because again, we don't want to create any extra like broadening of our upper body. We want to keep it sort of the shape that it already is. So chunky knits can tend to look a bit sloppy on an apple, and we generally like finer knits as well. Again, we're just trying to keep our upper body a little bit more contained, because we have the slimmer legs. So I'm just going to switch out of the black cardigan because I just like my rope cardigan. I like kind of a little tone on tone monochromatic upper with the dark bottom. Okay, so again, with knits, we want probably a little bit of a finer knit. We don't want a chunky knit because we just don't really want to add a lot of extra bulk to our upper body. So then if we're looking at blazers, again, we want a blazer that's going to sit kind of like at the top of our thigh. So this classic blazer is a really great example. It also has some really great seaming at the back and at the front, which just gives your body a little bit of shape. So again, because we don't have a lot of shape here, any kind of blazer or blouse that has this seaming or the seaming in the front that can give us a bit of shape, that's something that looks really good on the apple shape. Okay, so now we're going to switch to pants. And apple shapes are really lucky because we do have slimmer legs. We can wear a lot of different. We have a lot of different options to wear. Excuse me, to wear on our bottoms. So we can wear slim legs, and actually slim legs are really great on an apple shape because again, generally we've got really good legs, and that's something that I wanted to emphasize tonight. We're talking tonight about, how do we minimize this area? And I know when women come into the store a lot, they're talking about things that they want to hide, which is absolutely fine. But I think we also need to start thinking about what do we want to enhance? What do we want to show off? So with apples, you've got great legs. Show those legs off. So like a slim leg pant is a really great option because you can show off those legs, and that's where people's eyes are going to be drawn to. But you don't need to just wear a slim leg because again, with the apple, we can wear so many different types of bottoms. But again, remember, we always want to keep things that are high-waisted. So here's a great pant as well. It's a wide leg, but if we want to make our bottoms just, stand out a little bit more, then you can see this is, I don't even know if you can see it. This is a black on black plaid. So plaid pants are really great for the apple shape. Anything with design, we can wear bright colors on the bottom because, with a smaller bottom half, these are things that are going to enhance for us. Also, these pants have pockets. So pockets are good because it's going to add a little bit of extra bulk depending on the pocket and where the pocket is placed here at the bottom. So a nice wide leg pant with pockets is going to be really good. You can see for a denim, I'm wearing a flared pant, and flared pants are great because they're a little narrower on the top, and then they go to the flare after about the knee, as opposed to a wide leg, which starts wide sort of from your hips down. So again, with a flared pant, you're showing off your nice trim legs, but then you're adding shape to your body through the flare at the bottom. Now, I think I'm going to grab the sweater instead. Yeah. Now, if we want to add curves to our bottom, which again is one of our styling goals, we don't always have to do it with pants. Here is a really great top for the apple shape because it's got this wider sleeve. Now I know initially I pointed out on the blouse that we tend to like sleeves that are slimmer, but what's cool about this is it's got a little bell sleeve at the bottom. But if you see where the bell is going to hit me on my arm, it's hitting me around my hips. So the bell is bringing curve to my hips, but it's doing it through a top. It's not necessarily doing it through a pant. Okay, so now I'll take the pants.
Oh, these ones.
Yeah. And I just wanted to mention as well, pull-on pants can be troublesome for an apple because we're pulling them on. They often have stretch, which means it just kind of clings around to the parts that we're trying to minimize. Instead, it really tends to emphasize it. Don't be afraid of wearing pull-on pants. Just know how to style these pants. So this is the Renoir 1542 pant, which is one of our best sellers here at the store. And quite frankly, it's a wardrobe staple. It's one of my wardrobe staples. I've been wearing this style of pants since before I owned the store. And they are a pull-up pant. So that means I have to be cautious when I'm styling them. Now, what I love about these pants is that it's a fairly slim leg on it. So again, when we get back to what do we want to enhance with the apple, let's show off those legs. So these pants are really great at showing off our legs. But again, we have to be careful of this midsection. So when I'm wearing these pants, I will always wear it with a shirt or a sweater that's got the half tuck, or I wear it with a cardigan, or I wear it with a blazer. I don't ever really just kind of show the waist of these pants on their own. So again, pull-on pants can be tough for an apple, but just know how to style them. And then the very last thing that we're going to talk about with the apple is a dress. So here is a really great Joseph Ribkoff dress. It's a fairly straight dress, which again plays well with the apple shape because we're not drawing any particular attention to our waist. We've got a straight line up and down. This also has a very subtle vertical pattern to it, which of course is always slimming. But again, where does this dress hit? It just hits at the knee. So again, we're showing off the legs, which is a good thing for the apple to do. So that kind of finishes the apple. So again, remember our styling goals are to minimize the waist area, draw the eye up, or draw the eye down. Okay, and now that's the apple. And now Joanne is going to take over and she's going to talk about the pear.
The pear. So the pear. The beloved pear. That's what I am. So, although there's parts that I don't quite fit into, but we'll talk about that. But generally speaking, I'm a pear. And what does that mean? Well, it's one of the most common body types for women. It means that generally you have a wider hip than bust. Your shoulders may or may not have a slope to them. It has you have a defined waist, which is because you have a wider hip, and likely your legs are full or muscular. And I would say that's me to a T. for your focus on what you want to do, and I'm going to show you some pieces in just a minute, but your focus really, you want the upper body and defined waist, structured shoulders so that you're kind of balancing that out. A push-up bra if you can to lift the girls. In my case, I don't need that. So that's where sometimes it's okay to have those differences. Bright colors and patterns on top. And I'm going to show you some of these things. Horizontal stripes to accentuate the upper. And I know sometimes we say no horizontal stripes, but there's times where horizontal stripes are your friend. Looser styles on top, where sleeves that add volume, and upper body layering keeps the focus upward. So that's exactly what I've done today. So I've done a layer just to bring the focus up here. Okay. So
before we get started, I have a big ask of everybody. So what I want you to do I'll count down to 3, and then I'm going to ask you to close your eyes for 3 seconds and then open them. I know it's going to sound weird, but I'll let you know why in a minute. Okay. So in 3, close your eyes for 3 seconds and then open them. So close in 1, 2, 3.
Ta-da!
Are you back? I forgot to turn our ring light on. And Joanne and I just want to look like we've got blemish-free skin.
Okay.
No shame in that.
No shame at all. Okay, so I'm going to give you a really quick summary of what to avoid. Boxy tops that hide your waist, skinny and tight bottoms on wide hips, hip details on your hips and thighs, tops being longer than your hip, clingy long sweater that hits across the hip, jeans and trousers that taper, back pockets on your jeans, because we don't want to add focus to that. Distressed denim is one thing to avoid, because again, you're drawing attention, right? The distressed denim is a pattern, essentially. You're adding focus. Jackets that hit the hip area, bell sleeves, narrow collar. So let's get some examples of this. What you're going to shop for are, you're going to look for wider necklines. Okay, so, or collar off shoulder, square, bateau, cowl, Sabrina neck, and something with, embellishment. So if you look at that Joseph Ribkoff top, you've got the navy blue embellishment. It's a nice wider neckline, and that's what's going to be really, helpful. You also look at the sleeve, and it's got that nice, sleeve right there. Okay, that they taper down, and you've got the shoulder volume. Okay. So now, next, this one, and we have regular, but we also have plus. And this is important to know. It doesn't matter whether you're plus size or whether you're regular size, that proportionate identifying features are the same. So plus size, you're going to be thinking about styles the exact same way. So in this case, so this is an example of something that'd be really flattering. This is a plus size blouse. You can see the roomy sleeve and the embellishment on the sleeve. So that is going to bring your focus to your upper body, right? And away from the bottom. So remember that typically a pair has a smaller top compared to the bottom. So what you want to do is bring that up and add so that you're balancing it and not focusing on the bottom at all. So that's one. Okay. And another one, when you look at sweaters, right, what you want in a knit sweater is something that's going to fall just at the hip very, very nicely. But you'll look, the sleeve is a nice tapered sleeve. It's structured. It's not a really loose, super baggy sweater. It's going to be a chunkier knit, which is very good because, again, you're balancing, right? So that chunkiness is going to help. Okay. And when it comes to jackets or sweaters, look at this, right? So this jacket is great because it comes, if this is where the hip is, we're going well below the hip, right? It's got the structured sleeve, really nice structure at the shoulder. So this is going to come down and really balance out this part, right? So beautiful. And the lapels on that too, I think important. The lapels add that embellishment, which is what we're talking about to bring everything up. Okay. The next thing we're going to look at are some pants. So these are a pair of trousers, really, really nice. You'll notice that the front has really fine pleats, okay, but very flat right here. So that's important because it's going to help, again, just to add balance to the bottom. So remember, we were also saying we want to avoid, unlike the apple, we want to avoid the really thin, slim leg. These are, you want to have that straight or just a little bit of a wider leg, not necessarily wide, but certainly wider than typical. So this is nice as well because it's going to give that front, nice smooth front. But in the back, because we carry in the back, we've got room here that's going to cover the back really nicely. And then whatever you're wearing on the top is going to come down right and cover this part up right here. Okay. So really important. All right. Jeans. Oh, jeans. So same thing. And much like what I've got on right now, I've got my FTJ straight leg, and these are straight legs. Okay. So these are the Peggy straight leg. And again, really important. Okay. That you don't go tapered. Okay. You can, and I should tell you as well, boot cut, a higher rise is really good as well for pants. Okay, and as far as dresses go, we want the dress to kind of not give a nod to the waist, but we need to conceal the lower part as well. So dresses with a wider bottom will conceal it, which is a little counterintuitive because you think that a wider bottom will draw attention, but in actual fact, an A-line is really very flattering. Okay, so this Joseph Ribkoff dress is lovely. So for a few different reasons. It's got the bandeau top. Did I say that right? Say that right, Nancy?
Boat neck.
Oh, the boat neck. Sorry. See, that's why she owns the store. Okay, so the boat neck top is one of the ones that is flattering because, again, you're widening that neck. It's got the trim, the color detail. We've got a really nice sleeve structured, but it's got some embellishment there. So same thing, bringing the eye up. And then the side, you'll notice it's a nod to the waist, but without being the waist. So if you notice the line on this has a slight curve. And then this is just going to touch very, very gently on the hip and hang down. So it's a very, very flattering cut without being completely straight. Okay? Because that's not what you want. All right. So that is kind of a nice selection of hair. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to clean this off for you, and you can get started on the rest.
And I'll just make one comment as well about this dress, that this dress also will flatter an apple shape. Again, because we've got the black panels down the side that are kind of giving you a waist, then this is actually flattering for just about every a lot of body type. And that's what you'll find. Like there's going to be a lot of overlap between styles that work for different body types. So now we are going to move on to the hourglass. And of course, the hourglass is characterized by having sort of your shoulders and your bust being about the same dimensions as your hips and your waist. So you're very balanced proportionally between your upper body and your lower body, but you've got a noticeably smaller waist. So it's kind of like unfortunately the Hollywood ideal was, like what is it? 34, the 36, 24, 36 or something, that the hourglass was considered, kind of an ideal shape. And I should have said this from the outset, there is no one good body shape. Every single body shape has its positives and everyone has its challenges. And we're going to discuss some of those with the hourglass right now. So the big thing when you're dressing, when you have an hourglass, our styling goals are to keep that proportion between your upper body and your lower body. So again, you're always thinking about proportion. And of course, you're trying to define that waist, and you're trying to, show that you've got a very defined waist. So one of the ways that we can do it when okay, that was an alarm for something. I'm not sure what I'm missing because the my alarm just went off. So what we're not trying to, as we've talked with the apple and the pear, we're trying to enhance our bottoms. We're trying to enhance our top. With the hourglass, I'm going to call it like very neutral dressing. So we just kind of want to keep the proportions that we have. So how can we do it? One of the ways is with a top that's quite slim fitting. So again, we've got slim arms. We've got a slim fit through the body. So this is a St. James top, and I do find that a lot of the brands from Europe, they do fit your body in a trimmer way. It's got just kind of a regular crew neck, which is fine. It's got the horizontal stripes, which again, it's not going to take away. It's not going to add. It's going to be quite neutral. And where this sits, this is actually sitting below the natural waistline. So what you're going to want to do, we'll talk about this a little more with pants, is you're going to want to make sure that you tuck that in. So tucking in is really important for the hourglass. Now, again, when we're talking about knitwear, you can wear those really cropped little tops because they actually sit where your natural waistband is. And that's what you want. So again, it's drawing your eyes to your waist, which is kind of one of the styling goals of the hourglass. And again, we have kind of just a regular shaped arm, but this is a lighter. I know this is really kind of hard to see when we're talking about chunky knits and lighter knits through the phone. But this is a lighter weight knit. So again, we don't want to go with the really big chunky knits because that's going to throw our proportions off, because now our upper body is going to look bigger than our lower body. So a nice slimmer knit that sits at your waist. This is just a really, really great knit for an hourglass. And here's a little cardigan, which is kind of the opposite of what we were talking about previously with the apple. What's really great about this cardigan, again, it's a shorter cardigan. It's going to sit more at your waist, but look at these fabulous gold buttons. And what those gold buttons do is they draw your eye down right to the waist, which is what you're trying to show off. No embellishments anywhere else. So your eye just gets drawn to that, to your waist. So this type of little lightweight V-neck cardigan is just a really great kind of knit for you to wear. And then when it comes to jackets, again, you can choose a jacket that's just a little bit shorter. And I really like this jacket from Franza because it's not fussy at all. So again, we don't want to make our upper body look bigger than our lower body. So this is a nice cropped little jacket. You can see it's not fussy with the details at all. We've got our snaps that are matching the color of the jacket. And it's a really, really well built jacket, but it's not a super fussy jacket. So again, really nice for the hourglass shape. Now, when it comes to pants, again, we want to kind of keep things neutral. So just always kind of think neutral dressing. With the hourglass, a high-waisted pant is probably a little bit better than a mid-rise, because with the hourglass, even though your top and bottom are in proportion, is that you can have like sort of rounded curves, because of course you're going from the smaller waist out a little bit. So if you're choosing pants, just be careful of where they fall and that they're not hitting you again at a wider part of your body. So a high-waisted pant is good. You can go with the peggy, And as Joanne mentioned, the Peggy is built for a curvier body so that the waistband actually does go in a little bit. And again, keeping in balance, we don't want big embellishments on our pants, and we don't want fussy pockets in the back, because all of that kind of adds volume to your bottoms. I would say a style of pant that you really don't want to wear. Skinny pants are not great for an hourglass, because it just kind of gives you a bit of a too rounded of a look. And flare pants don't look great either, because again, it's almost adding too much curve. So you have curve here, and then you have curve down at the bottom again. So a straighter leg or a wide leg, those are really great pant choices for the hourglass. And again, this is just showing you a wider leg, a pull-on pant. And as we mentioned, what's nice with the wider leg is that, right, we're coming out from our small waist and we're going into the hips. The wide leg pants start from the hips coming straight down. So again, it just gives a really, really nice clean line to the hourglass. And again, this pant has no pockets at all, so we're not adding anything down below. But now I'm going to do these two together. So now that doesn't mean that all you have to do is dress in neutrals and dress in kind of what probably, from what I've been saying, sounds like a really bland type of dressing. You can certainly have embellishments on your top or on your bottom. You just have to be really conscious that if you create an embellishment on your top and you make your top look broader, then you also want to do the same for your bottoms, keeping in mind that we want to still be able to show off the waist. So belts are like the hourglass figure's best friend. So just, pretty much belt anything you have. So here's just an example. Let's just say you absolutely fell in love with these Porto pants. So you have the pants, but now any kind of like brightly colored pant or patterned pant, that's adding volume to the lower half of your body. So that's fine. Again, you just have to be aware of it. Okay, I'm adding volume to the lower half of my body. I need to do the same to the upper part of my body. Now you may be thinking, Nancy, you just showed me that top and said that it's a really great top, neutral top for an hourglass. But again, I've got to be a little more conscious of maybe some of the stuff I picked, knowing that we're on just going through a phone. These stripes are actually velour. So they're a little bit raised, and they're just really fun and soft to touch. So this top actually will add a little more volume to your top because you've got these raised velour stripes on it. So now we've added color to the bottom, and we've added a bit of depth to our top. And again, as always, we just want to tuck that in, and we want to show our waist off. So, and again, when we're talking about things to avoid, we don't necessarily have to like run in another direction from things. Oftentimes we just have to realize, okay, if I'm going to wear this can be a difficult style for me. What can I do to make it work for me? Okay, so we're going to finish off the hourglass with styles of dresses that work really well. And again, any style that's going to show off your waist is the type of dress that you want. So this is a really cute little dress from Iska, and you can see that it really tucks in at the waist. There's quite a bit of darting in the back to give you the waist. Now, we talk about balanced proportions. So this top has a little bit of a puff sleeve, but that's not going to throw you off the balance, because at the bottom you have a bit of a ruffle. So again, we've got a puff on the top, a ruffle on the bottom. So that's bringing us balance to the whole outfit while getting really tucked in at the waist. Oh, Joanne, you're so good about putting your clothes back here, and I just keep handing them to you.
Okay.
Here is what we're looking for the hourglass shape. So again, remember with the hourglass, you're really in proportion. So your goal is to keep the proportion for your top and your bottom, while at the same time showing off your smaller waist. So tucking tops in is a really great way to do that. Belting anything that you have is also another really good way. Okay, and now we're moving on to our last shape. Joanne, what are we looking at?
I may be very good at hanging things up, I'm really lousy at talking without my tutu. So there you go. We're even. The next shape we're doing is rectangle. Okay. And rectangle is basically very similar measurements from your shoulders, your bust, your waist, your hip. So almost like a column. Okay. Often somebody will have longer legs or and arms. There's minimal definition at the waist. And when you gain weight, you're probably gaining it evenly throughout. Okay. The focus for a rectangle in dressing is breaking up that column. Okay. That's kind of the goal. So you're going to create contrast between the top and bottom. You're going to try where you can to define a waist, because a waist isn't as defined naturally. You're strategically going to use print and texture and details for interest. And you're going to be able to use bright colors, top and bottom, but not at your waist. Okay, well-structured clothes are your friend. Another one, good push-up bra to keep that proportion up and to try and add a little definition where possible. And belts or nipped-in garments are going to be great. You're going to avoid shapeless, oversized items. It's going to just add to that column look. Square or boat necklines and boxy cuts, unless you're using it as a layer, as like you've got a tighter layer underneath. It's going to add shape. So what are we going to shop for? We're going to shop for necklines, round, off the shoulder, bateau, funnel, sweetheart, scoop, v-neck, asymmetrical. So really almost anything. You're going to want embellishments at the neck. For sleeves, rolled up, puffed, or flutter if they're short. And long sleeve, cuffed, or flared, or bell is great. So if I look at this sweater, right here, we've got really structured sleeves, really nice rounded collar, but it's got the embellishments here, right? So that's what we're looking for. The styles that we're going to look at, it can be with around the tops, ruffled, belted buttons, wrap styles, bow tied where a bow is at the neck, peplum, softly shaped hems. So there's lots of different styles that will work for rectangle. Waist details, belts, darts, seams, and ruching. Very important. And slightly cropped or waist length styles to break up that really straight line. So this is a really lovely way to do it. And this band at the bottom is also going to break that line for you. Okay. What is next? So again, now we've got knitwear.
I did the wrong one.
Oh, here we go.
There we are.
So we've got knitwear. This is one of our plus size sweaters, and same thing. Doesn't matter whether you're plus size or regular. Proportionally, we all fall into the body types. So in this case, the wider sleeve, but a nice shoulder, and got that great neckline. Okay, and where this is going to fit, you can see there is a little band around the bottom. So that's going to sit for somebody at their hip. Okay, and yeah, so we want, and this one is another great example. So we've got the funnel neck on this sweater. And the reason why this works, remember, we're trying to break up, and the patterns help us do that. So we're trying to break up to show a waist. This is going to help with that here. We've got a nice tailored sleeve, right? But the pattern on it is going to help define the top and the bottom. which is what we want. Okay, we want that contrast. All right. And as far as jackets go, they could be longer, but a tailored fit with embellishments, peplum style, structured like a denim. It's good, belted, straight, double-breasted, single-button blazers, but the jacket should be well-shaped, subtle waist, and cropped or waist-length jackets are awesome. So here's a great example of many of those characteristics. So this Dolcesa jacket, you'll see very structured, and you can see just in the, I say it's that very structured seaming, makes me think of almost a corset, like that really well-defined, structured. It's going to add the shaping to this. Okay, and it's in the back as well. The pattern, if you notice it, the pattern's drawing into the waist, okay? So helping to give that detail. Look at the neckline, like just amazing. Same thing, we're drawing the eye up, and it's fitting and bringing your eyes in, so it's just hitting at the hip, but really bringing that definition to the waist. Okay. All right, now as far as bottoms go, for trousers and jeans, high rise is your friend. Skinny, slim, straight, boot cut, wide, cargo, harem, turned up hem. So really any pant is your friend, okay? But where it gets interesting is how you can play with the pattern and color in the pant. So pants with pleats and darts are great, but it's a texture and style that are going to work. So you want to give visual weight to the lower half to support some of those other tops that have more structure. So again, you can do that through the patterns, right? This Lizette pant with the black stripes, right? Beautiful plaid. And it's got really, really subtle pockets, right? So it and a nice flat front. So it's going to be very, very complementary. You can see the pant straight. Okay. And these ones are a great example. These ones have the pocket in front. So these are an French dressing. They're Christina style. But you can see the little patch pockets at the front. Not everybody could wear that. But the column, the rectangle, you can, because you are trying to break this up a bit, right? You do want to draw some attention and break it up. Okay. So this is giving a little weight, as does the back pockets. Okay. Straight leg. And so just a great pant. And then dresses. So what we want it's a cut of the dress. That's going to be really important. A wrap, fit and flare, anything with a seam at the waist, a bias cut, and particularly where the bodice and the skirt are a contrast. So just like this one. So this does exactly that. So we've got the button up, which we already know from a top standpoint, this works. It's got the seam at the waist. We know that works. It's got the belt, so it's bringing the definition. And you can see, because of the contrast, you're totally breaking up that rectangle, right? And adding that interest. And that's where you've got that pattern on the bottom, and the beautiful neckline up here works like a charm. Okay. There we go.
Okay, so that has taken you through our 4 body types that we wanted to discuss tonight. Now, I would love for you to throw in the chat which of the body types that you are. So for the people viewing, let's just see if it comes out that the pear is probably the most common, followed by apple, hourglass, and then rectangle. And
you may have elements that you don't fit, but if overall mostly you fit, that's fine. I know when you did my measurements, I was almost hourglass, but not quite. So I still fit pear, right? Which is fine. And I would say it's still, when I'm dressing, I still feel better when I'm dressing using the guide for pear. I feel more successful at putting the outfit together.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, remember, we gave you a lot of information tonight. You can always go back to the replay and listen to it, watch it over and over again. If you want one of our little styling cards, then just drop me a note at hello@djclothing.ca and I'll send you the PDF of whichever body shape that you would like. And if you want something just really in depth and personalized towards you, then we do offer that body shape analysis service as well. So that's our program for you tonight. But
we've got some responses.
We've got shoot. I don't know what I've done. I should know. Nancy, don't touch anything.
It looks like we got some responses from people about what shape they were, which is great. And I did see that some were saying they were pear-shaped. So that's fantastic.
Okay, so we might just be cut off at this moment. I'm not. Oh no, we're back. We're back. In case we were.
Yeah, there's the chat there.
Going.
So,
okay, yeah. I don't even want to touch
hair.
I don't even want to touch anything because I just wrecked it. So before we sign off, I just want to mention that for our next couple of lives, we are not going to have Joanne with us because Joanne's going on an amazing adventure, which is
I'm going to Brazil for 5 weeks, and I'm going to be teaching teachers, which was I retired from teaching. So I'm going down to help support teachers in Brazil.
That's awesome. So we're going to miss you, and we're going to miss you on the lives, but Joanne will be back end of March.
Mm-hmm. The beginning of April, really.
Okay. Yeah. The beginning of April. So our lives are going to still continue. I'm probably going to have some guests join me during the live. So still stay tuned. And thank you everybody for taking time out of your evening to join us this evening. And as always, if you have any questions, please drop us a line, drop in the store, or give us a call. So good night, everyone.
Good night.